to the June 15th meeting of the Waterboro Board of Selectmen. Could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome. I also want to welcome Michael Pavecha, who is a new board member to the Board of Selectmen here. So congratulations on your successful run for this position. So with that being said, this is the first regular meeting of the board after the election. So the first order of business tonight is to the election of a selectman chairman and a vice chair for the year 2022, I guess is the fiscal year 2022, which runs from now until the end of June 2022.
July 1.
Yeah, July 1. So I would open the floor for nominations.
I'll make a nomination for Dennis to remain as chairman of the board, and also nominate Dwayne as the vice chair, if you'd accept.
Okay, do I have a second for either one?
I'll second that.
Okay. In both cases, Dana?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other nominations? We're going to move to nomination cease. So I would accept the nomination.
Yes. Nominations can cease.
All right.
Yes.
So what do I have a second for that? All those in favor of ceasing nominations? Opposed? Back to the original motion, which would be Dennis Abbott as chair and Dwayne Woodson as vice chair for the year ensuing. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
5-0.
Okay, we have no public hearings this evening and really no announcements other than we did have Marina scheduled to come in to talk, Marina Gagne, who's deputy town clerk, to come in talk about elections, so but we'll forego that, and we'll any additions or deletions to the agenda before we jump into that. We can do one of two things. We can add to the agenda tonight to make budget adjustments, which we have to do before the 30th, or we will have an executive session next Tuesday night for meeting with an attorney, so we can have a short business meeting after that. Just gives us another week of where we are. So if there's no one opposed to that, we will schedule a short business meeting.
If we schedule a business meeting, you'll have another report like what you've got tonight.
You'll have them every week, yes, sir.
Yeah.
No,
We're going to do Peter first,
Okay.
since it was a line.
Okay, so we'll have an updated version a week from tonight.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll move that we have a short meeting to adjust the monies next Tuesday night.
After the executive session.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? So we'll have an executive session starting 5 p.m. on 5/22, and those for discussions with the town attorney, and then subsequent to that, we will have a short business meeting to address any issues with the budget. Okay. Let's jump into the agenda. We do have two appointments. Marina Gagne is tied up at the motion, so we will handle this first with Peter Smith as Public Works Director, and kind of an update on Public Works overall. So the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good evening. Peter Smith, Director of Public Works for the town of Waterboro. I come before you tonight, Mr. Chair, Select Board members, and the town administrator. I wish to share with you the excitement and challenges my crew and I have faced over these last few months. As I began to get to know the Public Works crew and the layout of the land here in Waterboro, it was clear that the tight-knit community cares deeply for its citizens and developing plans for the future. I want to express my appreciation for the Highway Department, Transfer Station, Town Hall Administration personnel. They've all been very helpful and going above and beyond what they do. One of the things that stood out to me was not only did they step up in the support of me in the department, but the dedication for the community is outstanding. I am thankful for the opportunity that came up and allowed me to be part of the team. Some of the things we have been working on in the various departments are, in the Highway Department, I created the drug and alcohol program to bring us up into compliance with the state mandate for CDL operators through the main transport, including highway and transfer employees. I was also able to acquire 2 electronic trailer boards. They're not running at the moment. The IT Dave and I have been working on them. They do light up and they are messaging, and hopefully we have the technology to program what we need. Those boards are, if you had to buy them, $15,000 a piece. So if we get them going, that's going to be a huge help for us. So we can do like road closures, detours, we can put up messages and stuff like that.
Where'd them boards come from, Pete?
I can't give away all my tricks of the trade, but they originally came from, acquired through the military.
Okay.
So this is something else I'm going to be working on, so we can go direct.
Well,
It's third hand, but that's where I got it.
Why I say that is, all them signboards that the state has, they can calculate them and message them right out of the headquarters in Augusta.
Yeah, Bluetooth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a little expensive.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm wondering if they can do that for your sign, if they've got the number of,
Not these particular ones. No.
Okay.
They're not set up for that.
yeah.
We've been doing some ditching already. We've done over 17,000 linear feet. Also implementing the dig safes, because by law, anybody that does any kind of mechanical movement of earth has to call in for a dig safe. Town of Waterboro was never involved in that, so I got involved, and it helped out in several different ways. We can get out and mark our underground infrastructure, because we do have power, we also have drainage. It also been helping us out, catching on some of the people not getting permits that are supposed to be, so I'm helping and working with codes on that, so that's helped out on that. I've had 41 calls for those. Driveway opening permits, I've responded to 35 of those. We started shimming East Shore Road yesterday. The rain came, that put that to a halt, but we did get up on Star Hill Road today. That was based in, so that's no more dirt section up there, so that's huge relief off all of us, because it's hard to get a grader nowadays. In the beginning of the spring, I tried for weeks and weeks and weeks to get a contractor to come up with a grader for Oski Hill Road, and I just could not get it. Nobody, they're all busy, and just a drop of a hat, it's hard to get that stuff now, and a grader is easy, $350,000, so obviously we're not going to buy one. But we finally got it done. Created heavy load permits online, so it's much more convenient for, in the spring, for the road postings. They can do their permits online. We did nab one particular contractor because he was very abusive of the road permit. I mean, so bad, I had the state police come up and they agreed, and they put him on scales and they took care of business, so that was nice. Just trying to save the roads that, you know, the town of Waterboro have. The traffic signals at Route 5 and 202, I guess there was a crash here months ago, and boy, that's been painstaking to try to get that done, but that's finally done. All the bills are in, I believe, so we're going forward with that one as well to get reimbursed. There was a safety grant out there. I put in for that. It was a 2-to-1 match up to like $2,000, so we bought some barricades and cones that we desperately needed around here, because we didn't have any of those in the highway department to assist with washouts, trees down, working with fire departments and stuff like that, even just road construction itself. We adjusted one catch basin structure on Waterboro for the paving project for that, over that, and that should be coming on Thursday. We should be paving Waterboro Thursday, weather permitting, or breakdowns. That's another one that I'm getting a lot of breakdowns. Got 3 drainage easements, Star Hill, Regular Lane, and up in Aspen Way and Pheasant Run working on. The highway crew went down and prepped the landing pads for Josh at the transfer station, so they were able to get those in, which is huge, especially because now we can use that year round. Before the frost season, the truck couldn't get under there, pull rollback cans in and out, made it much safer, and so he was able to get that done. Yeah, boy, another one. Finally took delivery of the new 1-ton, 8 months later. We finally got that, we got it in yesterday. Couldn't believe it, boy, trying. I also took delivery of an all-wheel drive maintenance van from the RSU. The price of that was nothing to purchase. We put a little bit of money into it to get it on the road and safe. So excited about that. I noticed one day we had power outage here in Waterboro on a Sunday, and the generator didn't start here. So I went and checked it out. It hasn't been serviced since 2017. So that's really unheard of. That's an emergency generator this is the heart and soul of the government. We got to keep that up and running. I finally figured out what it was, so it saved us a $250 minimal. It's a call up to have Cat come out and look at that. It was just as simple as on the fuel filter side, the bottom cap is loose, and any kind of air at all in diesel, it will not start. Tighten that up a little bit, reprime to get it going. So same with the fire department. So this one and the fire department one, I'm going to get on a good plan and keep those up to service so they run when we actually need them. Generated with Gary a call for service, just so we can keep track of people calling in with, I don't want to call them complaints because they're really not complaints, it's concern. Everybody has their own little thing, and we're up to 104 already. Every single one has been responded back to except for one, and that's shared by myself, Gary, Laura, and Angela. So we all can keep an eye on it and how things are going. So if somebody calls in and hey, they never get back to me, any one of us can look down, scroll, see exactly what time, date that was responded back. So, I'm tired of hearing they never got back to me, because that's not the case.
It's an Excel spreadsheet that Laura fills in when the call comes in. Peter can have it by email, and it's working very well.
With the transfer, Josh and I were able to collaborate with the remaining the fund at the Quonset hut. They got funds for insulating it. He said he had some money left over, so I encouraged him to push him along and try to get a heating source for that. A nice propane unit. Again, we were running 2 salamanders in that. That's really unsafe, and they're so dirty. They dirty themselves, and we was having a lot of maintenance themselves with the salamanders, constantly fixing them. So now we're going to have a nice, clean propane heating source in there for that. For like the Parks Division, I got Friendship Parks well running again. I'm not sure what I'm getting for gallons permitted over there. We haven't really challenged it yet because we don't have sprinkler systems or anything. But again, like I said, I'm getting my feet wet, trying to build these things up.
What happened to the sprinkler systems that was there?
That's $1 million question.
We never had underground sprinklers.
We sure did.
Did?
Yes, sir.
So they're going to be there somewhere.
At Friendship?
Yeah.
Now then,
There was some on top of the ground, and then we put them in. That was before Mike left.
I would love to have you show me at least where we think they are, and I'll dig and see if I can find them.
I don't know that they're there, but I'm just saying, we put them in.
We got taps, but there's no actual.
Yeah, we got the dry hydrant.
irrigation system.
Right. There's a bunch of dry hydrants all around, and I understand these plug hoses into them with sprinklers.
They
That's how
they
sprinkle.
screwed on and they went down into the ground so that they could play and they
You
stayed
tell
right
me
there.
within a 20-foot area, and I'll dig that whole thing up to find it. Yeah, I'll look for it. Lions Field was out there, cleaned out that little maintenance building, bunch of trash and debris in there, trying to clean up the place, as I mentioned earlier. Our fields are hard, this is the center of the community. The kids are coming out back and they're playing. We got to bring these up to snuff and take pride in that. Took down a bunch of hazard trees at Goldville Park, and I got a bunch of projects in the process that I'm going to continue on working on, which is going to be ever and ever endless. Obviously, is personnel for the Parks Department, Jelson Road, culvert replacement grant, implementation of traffic flow for the transfer station. We've been talking about that for months as well. It's so unsafe over there, and it's just reckless and crazy, and we'll get it calmed and tamed and under control. Josh has no faith in me, but we'll get there. Also, the same with the stickers. We're going to start nabbing a bunch of people with the stickers. driveway road ordinance, and the road ordinance itself, driveway opening ordinance and road ordinance itself, the language doesn't talk to each other. One says one thing, one says another thing, so we've got to work on that, try to clean that up. We did have one meeting with the road review crew, and well, I guess I've got to poke the bear and try to get that going again. 'Cause we had one, and it seemed well, I gave them homework, and they never showed up again, so.
Have we had another meeting or scheduled?
Well, we had one scheduled, but it was an off week, so I think people forgot.
Well, I never got a notice, so.
I'll work on that.
When do you meet, Pete?
I think it's the third Monday, I
Third
think.
Monday of the month.
I have to look, I don't have it.
Another thing that's been coming up, I know might talk about it, code enforcement, private roads. We're having a lot of people, all the lands have been bought around, so a lot of people buying land out in the outskirts and all these back roads. So we had a meeting with the fire department, code enforcement, public works, and we're going to try to come up with a private road ordinance. We have some meat in the ground and potatoes, because right now we really don't have anything. But we got to make it so safe passage can get out there for themselves and for emergency services.
Wednesday? Pete, they meet, it's the second Wednesday,
Beautiful. That seems early, but okay.
6 p.m.
At the library, plenty of you heard, we've having a ton of heating problems down there. The pipes are all old, they're leaking, have a mess on the floor. They keep band-aiding. They put a $300 fix for this long and a $300 fix. So we're working on trying to bring that up to par as well, because it's just horrible down here. Private construction of roads coming in. I'd like to have open house with every resident on the road that we're doing construction on, so we can, before we get out there, already have a plan to start doing work. Then people tell us, oh, I have a water problem, or I have this problem. So I want to pre-meet with them prior to, so we can figure a lot of this stuff out before we put a lot of work out there, and then the work is useless. Last place I came from, we started that and it worked out very well. Some people came and it helped us out tremendously. Any engineers in here? I know your son is, but I don't. My personal opinion, before you become an engineer, you ought to have boots on the ground or boots wherever for 5 years so you can understand the logistics of, it's great to create things, but to follow up after the fact, it's, and I mean, no disrespect at all, disrespect. By the way, no relations, so. So, you don't get any better information than people that actually live out there and lived out there for a long time. They can tell you what's going on. As thank you all and the citizens of Waterboro for the elections and passing the budget. So we're gifted with a new front end load tobacco, working on specs for those, and a trailer to haul everything around. We're going to be doing some roadside mowing, not next week, the week after, because the big whopping 2 crew person that I have in the public works, one's going on vacation and the other one's rotating, so I ended up renting out a roadside mower. That hasn't been done in several years, and in the ditch line you can tell. So I mention to Gary all the time, we got to spend some money to save money, and doing something like that, renting out a mower to try to keep it at bay on the ditch line versus hiring a tree coming out $1,400 a day to cut trees. When we can do miles versus they do only 100 feet a day or something. So that's my kind of philosophy.
You've got 2, well, I think of it, 2 dead oaks up there on the Things Mills Road. Probably, 1,500 to 2,000 feet in from the time you come off the Clark's Bridge Road. But
Okay.
they're dead, yeah, they're good-sized trees, but they're right on the wall.
Okay. One other thing I did come up with afterwards, I guess there was a pallet of blown-in installation. It's been stuck in the garage for, I don't know, like years. I got real lucky, again, because I like to listen to people, talk to people when I go out and visit, to do driveway open, permit, whatever. I told Gary one time, why do you spend so much time with people? Well, that's how I learn things, and it helped out, because I ended up selling those $5 a bag above asking price that we originally asked for it. They're finally out of the garage, we finally get ruined, they're gone. The guy's tickled pink, he's got it blown in already, and so it was a win-win all the way around. So I thank you for your time, and again, I really appreciate the opportunity to come over here, work for the citizens of the town of Waterboro, and I want to give Julie extra credit too for that truck. It was a wicked pain in the butt. The truck came in on a Monday. I'm used to coming to the town, get the check, and go get it. That's not how it works over here, so I got some learning curves to do. she worked really hard and beat the bushes out of the bank, and we got some money, so we finally received it. So,
Good.
thank you very much.
Any questions for Pete?
I just have one.
Yep.
The open house public meeting, is that sort of like a site walk in that area? You go to that area and you meet with people on the road, or do they come to the town hall?
So what I will do is, obviously, a lot of people work during the day, so I'll set it up like probably like 4 different time frames. I'll do 2 days and 2 evenings. I'll have it, I'll talk to the IT and I'll have it up on a GIS thing so I can look like an aerial view, get it all communicated out, and then definitely do a walk around site, absolutely. Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
I've been kind of doing that now, kind of behind the 8 ball. We've already started some projects, but coming in the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, do whatever, just to try to meet up with the people, and they seem to appreciate being asked. So I learned that lesson years ago. It's like, what are you doing on my property? All you guys do is stealing land and blah, blah, blah. So it's nice to go out beforehand and talk to the people.
Great, thanks.
Any other questions?
I got one, the
Yeah.
Weber Road, why are we repaving that so soon?
So my understanding, that was just a shim, and on a shim, you can go from, I don't know what the condition of the road prior to that was, but as you know, on a shim, you could go anywhere from several inches down to just barely scraping the surface. That's the idea, to try to get your profile back on the road. And so the theory is, that's what you want to do, put the surface on. If you don't put the surface on, and where that little shim is, that's going to be the first place it's going to start delaminating, breaking away, and then you just lost your shim. You just lost your shape of the road. So you shim it, you surface it, and then it should hold together for a long time.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Dave, anything?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Wayne?
Thank you, Peter.
2 years ago, I think it was.
Don't run off here.
Show, I think it was 2 years ago.
Sit back up here. You're talking about drainage easements.
Yes.
What did we ever resolve with, at the corner of Chapman Ridge and Lord's Lane?
That's still work in progress. I've met with that gentleman on the corner. I need to meet with the contractor up above, but I'm trying to get as much information I can prior to going to meet with that person. But it's not dead in the water. I've met with the other person several times, myself, and I brought the crew that I have that has been working in the area because they had some history. Just trying to give exact, proper information before, because I'm hearing different stories, so I'm figuring it out. And the last thing that I had said to him, I'm waiting for, I won't say the perfect storm, but I need a good rain event so I can see what water does. You can go out, I mean, even Dana doing driving, you think water's gonna go here? It doesn't always go here. It's gonna go where it's gonna go. And I gotta see it to try to figure it out.
Goes where it wants to go.
Yep, it does. I mean, you can do a perfect, 3-to-1 slope down here, and it's sloped this way, and the water still goes over there. Don't know why, but it does. So seeing it with my own eyes will give me a much better judgment of the work that needs to be done.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Pete.
Now I'm dismissed.
Now you're dismissed.
Thank you, Pete.
Is Marina available?
She's got a customer she's closing up with.
Okay.
Well, we could, I guess,
So why don't
Do
we
the
jump
board
into correspondence with the treasurer's
well,
reports and...
public comments, maybe.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped over public comment, didn't I? Any public comment? Okay, so let's move on to correspondence. The treasurer's reports that are available, motor vehicle reports are also available if anybody's interested in that. If somebody is interested, we can give you a heads up. I can tell you that from an excise tax perspective, we're $300,000 over what we budgeted. Collected.
Figures right in front of you.
No, all I got is expense.
No, you don't. Keep going underneath the file, Gary, all your
Oh.
reports.
Yeah,
So
334.
everything's in here.
Yes, sir. I just completed it when you come and told me your request.
Just about 420,000 over on excise and rapid renewal.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, baffling. But evidently they're selling a lot of new cars.
Well, we under budgeted on purpose for COVID, and
Well, we thought we could outsmart ourselves with budgeting low on COVID, but
yes.
little did we know that things were gonna go a little bit nuts. And I guess maybe that federal check came in is buying new vehicles, I don't know, but certainly 2 weeks left, 3 weeks left? No, 15 days left, so it'll be interesting to see where that ends up. We did budget much higher in this coming year.
Yes,
so.
back to normal.
All right. Okay, we're still waiting on Marina, so why don't we go into Selectmen's reports? Dwayne, anything? David?
I have nothing. I would just like to comment, I like the idea of department heads coming in, like Pete did this evening. It's something we should consider doing, I don't know, monthly or every other month, instead of just every now and then. With all department heads.
Yep,
Stagger them so we don't have them all at once?
Yeah, that would be
Right.
best.
Yep.
that'll work. New guy, Mike.
No. Nothing.
You have to stand up.
You've
I
been,
do.
you've been elected 6 days
trust the
ago,
chair. Yeah.
7 days ago, and you haven't done anything, you haven't gone to any meetings yet?
No,
Okay.
I've not.
We'll have to appoint it to a bunch of committees then.
Yeah.
Removed from a meeting.
Guess
so-
what's gonna happen later tonight?
I was removed from a meeting, then.
Dana, anything?
No, I'm good.
I did have one
Yep.
major complaint the other day by several people, but I'm still investigating to what went on, but the restaurant got a denial of opening down here to East Waterboro because one inspector, and they had inspected this building 3 times, from what I gathered. I haven't heard it from the office in here, but
Which restaurant? The new one?
the new one. yeah.
Opposite the,
Yeah, the old post office.
Oh, the
People,
Chinese,
yes,
okay.
very upset because they've had 3 inspections, and the 3rd inspection, they found something that they couldn't open, that they'd already inspected before.
Okay. Well, we'll kind of query that
Yeah.
out of the code
yeah, I can
office.
find that out, let you know.
Okay. My only input is we've got annual Eco Maine meeting is Thursday. Gary and I are going. I invited Josh. Told him he couldn't wear his shorts though, but anyway, we'll have the annual meeting and we're part owner of that facility, so if everybody doesn't know that, there's 20 communities that own Eco Maine, and we're one of them. There's 4 York County towns. So we'll go through that annual exercise on Thursday. Town Administrator's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief. I wanted to leave most of those things to Peter, and you did a great job. Thanks for that. Land swap update. I have been communicating with Doug Foglio Sr., and documents from him have not been forthcoming, so we're waiting on those before final closing and exchange of funds can be scheduled. Our planning department received an application for a commercial medical marijuana grow operation on the west side of Route 4, just north of West Shore Road. That application will have a public hearing tomorrow night at the planning board meeting. The public is welcome to attend here in person or via Zoom. And continued discussion will go on after that, or could go on after that tomorrow evening. Possible decision, I guess, but that's up to the planning board. I am told it was a very complete application, so I'm not sure when it will be approved, but public hearing is tomorrow night.
Route 4, not Route 5, I mean Route 5.
Route 5, not 4?
Yeah.
Japers. Did I write 4? Nope.
No, you wrote 5.
You wrote it.
Thank you. Route 5, and heading towards North Waterboro. American Rescue Plan, we've heard a lot about that, and we still have a number that's going to be north of $600,000. The criteria for how those funds can and cannot be used is under review until July 16th. So everybody's kind of stay tuned in terms of how that can and cannot be spent. So far, the criteria are very much not in bricks and mortar. You don't buy a building or build a building or buy a bulldozer or a piece of equipment. This is broadband related, community health related, affordable housing related, and a few other categories like that in a wide array. York County itself will receive $40 million, and the commissioners are having a public hearing June 16th, this Wednesday at 2 o'clock at the old Marshall store in South Sanford, if you want to go. It's wide open to the public, as long as there's not too many people in there, but that's a very large room. It's the site of the old vaccination, the recent COVID vaccination clinic that's almost closed. There'll be another public hearing. I'm not certain about the time, June 23rd. I think it was 10 a.m., but that might change. For the new and maybe some other members who haven't done this, right to know law training is mandatory for all elected officials, so we can get you set up on the Maine Municipal Association website and access to that. I need to take that video, sign a form, and then it goes in your individual selectmen's personnel file, so that if and when we get audited by Department of Labor, that form is in there showing that you took that training. And we talked before the meeting here, a new state holiday. The governor has declared June 19th, a new state holiday starting 2022. So if you want that added to the personnel policy at this time, we can do that, or we can do it later, whenever you wish. And that's it from me, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Questions, comments? Did you and Dana do the MMA right to know law?
I have.
It doesn't take very long, Dana. I just had
So-
somebody do it in my office.
Mike will have to do it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess two of you here. Okay,
I did years ago, I haven't done it.
I haven't done it recently, but
It's Marina.
here's Marina.
Excellent timing.
Step right up to the,
Sorry.
step right up to
Good
the.
timing.
No,
How are you?
You're fine. Good, you?
I'm well, thank you. All right, so I'm here to talk about the most recent election. Does anyone have any specific questions regarding it?
Tell us what happened.
All right, so definitely low voter turnout for this type of election in Waterboro, about 6%. We had 400 ballots cast. Of the 400, 109 were absentee ballots. We only had 101 returned of the 108. So definitely not a super busy election, but it went smooth. Everyone that came in was really respectful, and they were really good at following the directions. Of course, with the COVID, everyone did well with that. So hopefully next time it's a bigger turnout. But everything passed, so that's good.
Okay.
Depends on which side of the fence you were on.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it's contingent on what, you would like to pass or not to pass.
6% total, it's pretty awful. How many registered voters are we up to now? 5,800?
I think it was 5,583. That was the number
5583.
thrown out earlier.
Okay. Well, it's better than having 26 at a town meeting, I suppose.
This is true. We could have had a lower voter turnout.
Right.
The weather wasn't ideal, it was very hot.
So for folks at home that didn't know, Marina took Christine Torno's place as the deputy town clerk here.
Did.
Christine moved over to the tax collector position, but she's been working with Nancy and Christine and pitched right in. And we hope that teamwork continues, and eventually Christine, I guess, will bow out in a few elections from now.
Yes.
Until
Still
then,
need her guidance a little bit, but for
Pretty
the
pers-
most part, I know the job,
Yep.
so.
She had some considerable elections experience in Biddeford before here, so it's not like she's brand new to it. And that was obvious. She did a fine job absorbing
Thank you.
things and working in around. A very different work environment in our little room.
It's very different than 17,000 registered voters. I will say that. Not that I don't mind. I like the little bit of calmness here. It's a fresh
Good.
start, that's for sure. Any more questions?
Anything else?
Little bit of calmness. She's diplomatic also.
Okay. Good enough?
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming in. Okay, let's move on to new business under discuss vote on committee appointment renewals. Those are the committee assignments that will expire in June. And you have a document in front of you called Agenda Item 9A. Following persons wish to be reappointed to various boards and committees for 3-year terms, with terms to expire in June 30th, 2024. I'll go through them quickly here because it's not a long list. Assessing Board of Review, Diana Gray. Budget Committee, James Southworth. Cemetery Committee, Jamie Donahue. Economic Development Committee, James Southworth. Fair Hearing Committees, James Southworth. Old Home Days, April Tucker. Public Safety Committee, Nadine Molly. And the Road Review Committee, George Hannes. So those are the...
I will make a motion that those following people be returned to the various boards.
Okay, do I have a second to that?
You do, sir. Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
So done. All right, we also have some staff appointments that have to be reviewed with terms to expire June 30th, 2022. Code Enforcement Office, Michael Gilpatrick. Deputy Code Enforcement Officer, James Alea. Licensed Plumbing Inspector, Michael Gilpatrick. Deputy Licensed Plumbing Inspector, James Alea. And our assessor, Shirley Bartlett. So what is your pleasure there?
I will move that Mike Gilpatrick to the Code Enforcement, Jim Rollier, the Deputy Code, Mike Gilpatrick to the Licensed Plumbing Inspector, and Jim Rollier to the Deputy Licensed Plumbing Inspector,
Okay,
and Shirley Bartlett to the Assessor's Office.
do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Sensing none, all those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
Motion carries. They're in it for another year. Okay. Jumping on to 9B, discuss vote to appoint member to the Cemetery Committee with a term to expire 2024. That would be the Jim Powell request, correct? I'm looking to Laura for a heads up.
Yes.
Okay. So that's to appoint Jim Powell to the Cemetery Committee through 2024. I'll jump at once.
I'll make that
yeah.
motion. I'm sorry, I was still reading something.
Okay. And do I have a second for Jim?
Second. No, Mike just did it.
Okay, so moved by David, second by Mike. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? All right.
5-0.
All right, discuss possible vote for appointment from the executive sessions this evening. I'm getting my cheat sheet here.
I'll
And-
make a motion that Dorothy Brochu
Yeah.
be appointed to the Cemetery Committee also.
Okay. Do I have a second?
You have a second on that, you're breaking it down?
Okay,
Yeah, I'm pulling her out because of,
You're gonna stay in the same committee?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, excuse me, Wayne.
Right.
So she's wanted 3 committees.
yeah,
Yeah,
right now
we'll do
we'll
it.
deal with the cemetery.
cemetery,
Okay.
because that's what we're,
Okay, so just cemetery?
Just cemetery
For
for
the
now.
moment,
at this
Okay.
moment.
So,
And I had a second from David.
you do.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of appointing Dorothy Brochur to the Cemetery Committee?
5-0.
Okay, the other executive sessions, we have 2 candidates for the Planning Board, Clyde M. Smith and Rebecca Higgins. What is your pleasure there?
I'll make a motion that both of them be put onto the planning board.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
5-0.
Old Home Days, we've got a request from Dorothy Brochu and Amy Webster. to be appointed to the Old Home Days Committee. What is your pleasure there?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Done.
5-0.
And last but not least, request from Dorothy Brocher to be appointed to the Transfer Station Committee.
So moved.
And do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion on that? If not, all those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
Motion carries. Okay, annually, there is a Spirit of America Award that is generated or requested nominations from, actually, there's a gentleman up in Augusta, Bruce Flaherty, but, and he represents the organization. And he called and we put this on the agenda, seeing as how we dedicated the town report to John Champion, thought that at least we would tee that up. We also had a suggestion here earlier tonight to appoint both John and Betty Champion for the Spirit of America Award. So I will take whatever
I will
motion.
make that a motion that John and Betty Champion be appointed to the Spirits of America Award.
Nominated.
Nominated.
Nominated, yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So Laura will have to process that nomination paperwork.
At this time, a few months ago, we had paperwork about the same kids' Spirit of America.
Right. Yep.
And at this time, I would like to put the Patiglio kids in as, nominate the four Patiglio children.
And how to spell it?
Yep. P-I-T-T-I-G-L-I-O.
4 kids?
How did I do?
You did just
Huh?
perfect, very
I got
good.
it in my phone book.
There you go, okay.
Do we have a second for that?
You have a second,
And
yes,
that
sir.
would be for the children.
The children, yes, they have 4 children.
Spirit of America Award.
Yes, oh, yes.
Okay? Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0.
Any,
My reason behind.
any other nominations on
Six.
Spirit of America? Sensing none, we'll move
There are
on.
probably several, but that could be nominated here in both adultery and kids.
Right.
But,
Yes, okay,
but
all good.
Okay.
All set.
So moving on. Okay, got that. All right, old business, discuss a vote on the revised personnel policy. You have in your hot little possession in front of you the latest.
Yes, as directed by the Selectmen, this went to all interested staff. I did get 2 late arrivals, if you will, one yesterday, but these are included in here, so I think you folks have 2 tabs. Go to the first one, which will take you to page 3, I guess.
Yep.
The red ink is in there. The comment from the staff person, I work less than 20 hours a week, and there's no definition in here. And on page 3, the definition for continuous part-time, in terms of employment classification and benefits, was 20 hours and more. So I put this sentence in there, just identifying that somebody that works continuously 52 weeks a year, but less than 20 hours a week. It's obvious that they would be covered by workman's comp and unemployment compensation. And I'm just bringing out that new paid leave that began this past January. And I referenced to the section in there. So that's the addition there. It doesn't change the functional definition of continuous part-time for the benefits above. The selectmen before had decided that 20 hours and above would get prorated of health, dental, vacation, holiday, and sick leave. So that's the change there.
Okay.
And then on the next page, on page 4, at the top of page 4, a similar reference to the new paid leave is the only change there.
And that's per the state law, right?
Correct. Any questions on those two? Hearing none, move you to page 5. After a considerable amount of discussion and wide variety of viewpoints and lots of talk with Matt Boers and Laura Fish and Julie, this seems to make it easier for the fire department in terms of paying people. A normal work week for us folks like myself and Julie and others, the work week ends Saturday at midnight. But with either 12 or 24-hour shifts, it's easier for Matt and Laura in terms of getting people paid if we took that pay period to end at Sunday at 7 a.m. So that's the change there. For fire and EMS weekend staff only.
So it would only affect fire and EMA staff?
That's correct. The only exception is for fire and EMS.
Okay.
And that works with current payroll, Julie?
That would be the current payroll, but I don't know if it's in the budget.
Well, it shouldn't change the budget.
It was not to change the
Maybe
budget.
7 more hours. It could be overtime or not overtime, it's going to be a subject area.
Well, you're taking 7 hours off the other end of the week.
Right.
Okay.
So,
So it should wash out.
Yep.
Could be washed.
Yeah.
Where you're paying 7 hours, time and a half, right?
Fire department
No.
doesn't get paid overtime till after
50, they have a 50.
Because they're underneath the Garcia Act.
Okay?
a variety of other apostrophes and other things I'm not bothering you with. I didn't put them in red. It's not necessary. So those are the only substantive changes, which is good, because in my estimation, and Julie and I went through the whole document again today, if you wish. Oh, one thing we didn't talk about was, two things actually. The $600 is still in here for health insurance reimbursement. I didn't write down that I was directed to do anything different on that. If so, then we don't pass this tonight. And the smoking policy was changed before to have a designated smoking area. And there was not, I read you folks to say, do that and don't have a no smoking property. But certainly if you wish to do that, that's up to you.
Okay?
The way this reads is it's designated smoking area.
That's the way it has read, right?
I don't know that we had the designated words in
I
there.
don't think it was prior.
No, because we never used to have these smoking
Right.
tubes or whatever
Right,
you call
right.
them, but they're supposed to be over 20, at least 25 feet away from the...
Away from the building, right?
Did you have a lot of feedback and input from staff? Fair amount?
Overall for everything or just that subject?
No, for the whole, the policies.
Not really, probably 5 people
Okay,
since, it went out 2 weeks ago.
yep, okay, just curious.
Okay? So what's your pleasure with this?
May I ask, if I please, are you going to add that holiday or not, now or later? Where you're doing the policy?
Later would be my preference,
Okay, I didn't know, I just didn't want to get it slid underneath.
because I think we do need to have some discussion.
Correct.
Just because it's a state holiday doesn't necessarily mean that we have to adopt it, but anyway, we can have that discussion.
Yeah.
Let's not confuse the issue right now, so.
Thank you.
But that's my opinion. I'd be, if someone thinks that we should add it in here, we can add it in here, but it just happened like today, right?
Yes.
So,
And all
It's
the
too new.
payrolls would be effective as of today, the changes? But if you sign this, or when it's,
July 1, wouldn't it be, or?
We can make that a motion that this goes
Yeah.
into effect July 1.
yeah,
On the Sunday schedule, is that what you mean?
no, I'm not just thinking of that, but the draft change in the longevity change.
yeah, I would think that a motion that it becomes effective July 1st would be
Thank you.
Please,
consistent.
that'd be good, yeah.
So I will make the motion that this Town of Waterboro personnel policy become effective as written July 1st of 2021.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed?
5-0. Thank you for your work.
About time.
Thanks.
We will get this reformatted, there's some tables that are chopped in half, and we will
When it's done.
work on that and make it look prettier.
All right, continued discussion on Bennett Hill Road, legal status. I'm not sure that all we've done is really opened up a big can of worms, because there are other roads now that seem to be flaring up.
Well, I didn't have a chance to put much, I was gone 2 days last week, I haven't had a chance to sit down with Clyde or Clyde and Hetty. I guess they'd be my closest information source from, other than you folks here.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I went back and for some reason, back in 1980, there was a vote by the town meeting to pursue additional land for the new dump, right? That evidently happened, and the money that was raised in March of 1980 wasn't enough. So 1981, they added more money to it.
This at town
And
meeting?
that's- Yeah, and that's when they bought the property from Boston, right? Who was the guy that owned the leather mill? For the
Yeah,
transfer station, right?
Yeah,
Because they
Old Alfred.
right, they closed the old landfill, right? There was never a vote to pave the road to the transfer station, and if you remember, the entrance to the the original transfer station was way up.
Way down.
Way down. So there's a whole litany of things that were done that I think factor into this thing. But in now, you've got what a private road issue is raising its head, and the old middle road is kind of coming into play here, and so there's a whole litany of
16 of
things
them.
things that will come back. So, like I said, all we've really effectively done is crack open a big can of worms.
We got another one too, while we're cracking open things. But about 15 years ago, might have been 12 years ago, South Waterboro, the loop around with the old Houghton seafood.
Yep,
That road is not setting on the road right of way.
you're absolutely correct.
And we have never done anything. That tad section of
Holmes Road.
Holmes Road, I was trying to think of.
Grist Mill
Holmes,
used to be,
yeah. But that road is not within the town right of way.
Right, and that was, I think Charlie Brown did all the surveying work.
Yep.
And everything was identified. In fact, it was when Doug was,
Still Selectmen.
no, he was road commissioner or had been
Part-time
appointed
public works.
Public Works
Yeah.
Director, when that all kind of came up.
Yeah,
So that's
and that was
gonna,
gonna be into a workshop, and I don't ever remember the workshop ever being
We
created.
didn't do it. You gotta move the pole, cut the tree, and round off that sharp corner,
Yeah,
right.
and buy or get some land from the abutters.
Well,
yeah.
there's gotta be a land swap.
that-
Where the road is today is on somebody's land, and where it's gotta be,
It was, he worked for David for a while, got his own shop down there on 111 now.
yeah, I don't know what you mean.
David Benton.
No, David, his brother.
Steve
yeah.
Cludia, Steve Cludia. Yeah, Steve owned that trailer, and the right-of-way was in the driveway of the trailer.
Right.
And we somewhat
So
talked to him.
that
and-
probably should be something that comes back to the table, and again, unfortunately, it's one of those things that, the can gets kicked down the road until that becomes an issue. And if you recall, the other little piece that is across from the brook from where the school is, or the medical center
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah,
We went through an exercise there with Steve Everett and
yeah,
resurveying.
Hamilton
and-
Road.
So that's another hiccup, that there's all kinds of those that will rear their head here, so.
I'm drawing a blank on that one. Hamilton Road?
Yeah,
Was
the one
Steve
that,
ever
it was the one that we had to, was Steve, not Hamilton Road, the old Route 202.
Oh, Steve, Waterhouse,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, Strom Mill Brook Road and 202. The old 202.
Those are some of the issues that.
We took care of that one, though. That was all cleaned up
Yeah.
with DOT.
That one, yeah, you're right, that's all, it's cleaned up, but there's a number of those that we need to address at some point. And, you know, if we had again, it goes back to a real active road review committee, would
Yeah.
kind of tee some of that stuff
I
up.
mentioned that last meeting that we had, that there was a lot of these hot items that they should be working on.
Well, if we want to give them the project of a lifetime, we can give them the 1955 town meeting and 16 roads in one article. And
Well, 16, but two of those articles, two of those definitions were the same road, in my opinion, but that's another.
I think they should be involved, definitely, but I don't know to what extent. We don't want to drive them away.
Well, we don't, certainly, and we don't, they're not gonna make a legal determination, that's gonna be done by,
Yeah.
as much as we might disagree with the legal community, but. Okay,
So, just one question. So what is the status of the Bennett Hill Road?
in
Where's it sit right now?
1955, there was a town meeting, and it didn't refer to the Bennett Hill Road, it talked about the Williams Road,
So-called, yeah.
so-called and whatnot, that was discontinued. However, since that period of time, we put money into that road, okay? So I don't think we can legally say that it's been abandoned or that
Discontinued.
it's discontinued, but the fact of the matter is because the town annually puts money into that road. And like I kind of started to say, the first part of that from the Kimball cabin
Yeah.
to the transfer station has been paved.
Right.
And
Right.
constructed. I mean,
It was
there's 2
rebuilt.
feet, there's 2 feet of gravel in that piece
Right.
of road.
And I don't think you can track back, maybe we can find an article on town meeting warrant that built that road, but my guess is it came out of the road and bridges account. So, anyway, so this won't go away
I believe that Glenn
anytime
Bean-
soon, and I
It'll probably be
think,
on a continual agenda as we go.
I believe Glenn
Trying to
was
find
the
out more
road
facts.
commissioner at that time.
yeah, it could have been. It was 1981,
Yeah,
2.
right,
That's when Richmond Stevens owned the transfer
yeah.
station, right? I mean, we owned the property, but we paid Richmond Stevens to run the transfer station and haul all of the trash to Eco Maine. Well, at that time, it was Regional Waste Systems. And it went from our baler into a bigger baler, and then 30-foot bricks were laid into the landfill for Eco Maine. And that was before we built the waste to energy facility, so. All right.
Smiths find anything new in this regard?
Anything new?
Yes.
Only what I've relayed,
Yeah,
Okay.
passed on.
yeah, and I think, I mean, that's consistent with what I think any of us have kind of remember and recognized and whatnot, so. Okay, pending decisions, I think we're all set there, the week's action list.
Pending decisions, right to know training for you folks. And
That's right.
We need to get you some information before you can do that.
But you can do that from a home computer, right?
Yes.
I'll come over here. Push the buttons for me.
So be it. Give you the big screen and popcorn.
Sounds good to me.
We will have an executive session next week, starting at 5,
Yes.
and that's the 22nd.
The people that will be here are Mark Franco, the attorney that's been hired by MMA to represent us in this case. And Colette Robbins is the lady who works for MMA Risk Management, who's in charge of our liability policy, was very much involved in the attorneys that she hires for this case. So hopefully both of those people will be here, at least Zoom, if not in person.
Right. And then we will have a short business meeting immediately commencing after the executive session to deal with any money that has to be moved from one account to another.
As you look through those numbers, you'll see some red that means that they've overspent. And somewhere in that budget, there's money that hasn't been spent. You'll see a percentage we need to pull out of one account to pay for the other one. Just transferring of funds.
And Michael, I'm at your disposal to help you with the budget.
Yeah, he'll have to have a little crash course and.
Yeah, but
You do?
the board has the right in the last 3 months of the fiscal year to flip-flop money without the voters' approval, but you got a kitty of money and you got.
You can't go up, right?
Right.
You only can spend
You
what's.
can only spend what was
approved.
allocated in last year's budget.
May have to talk with Peter about pending paving bills. The hot top is the biggest chunk of change there, and
So you told me that the heat in the Quonset huts, we already paid that bill, okay? And I guess the real question is if they pave Weber Road, and that's the biggest project, right?
Weber and East Shore, yeah, that's what we spent all the money.
Okay.
But accountants were over budget by about 10,000 because they've done twice the work that we actually budgeted for. But general assistance has got some
so
funds
we
there
can
that we
move.
can still.
don't use that word. Don't use that word.
What?
Steal.
Well, you're gonna,
Move.
Manipulate.
yeah. Steal from Peter to pay Paul is what it amounts to.
The budget is not increasing in total.
No, it
Correct.
is not.
Yes.
We just
We don't
gotta
have
move
any
funds
authority to do that, but the charter allows us to move from one department
to the other.
Yep.
All right, we have nothing that needs signatures tonight.
Agenda items, you're going to have an update from the code officer on July 6th. He'll be in and do a presentation similar to what Peter did in terms of what's going on in his time
Do we
here.
have any interviews, Laura, scheduled for
Committees.
the next meeting?
No.
Okay. We do have the lady coming from,
Yes, hopefully she'll be here in person. She was going to have to Zoom in tonight, and I'm glad that didn't happen because,
she's going to talk about solar energy and,
yeah, we can buy credits and on a per kilowatt hour save some money. Been looking at this for a few months with, I think, 6 other communities, and now's the time for you folks to see what it can do and how we can save some money on electricity. The only thing we haven't done, that a lot of other communities have, is change our streetlights to LEDs. That's another thing that she can talk about.
okay? And just so everybody knows, we did get the warrant for assessment of tax for regional school unit number 57. So we'll be sending our monthly check of $815,000, $656.67 on a monthly basis to RSU 57 for a total fiscal year period or amount of $9,787,880. So, and they also, well, most of them signed the warrant. So, anything else?
Well, we do.
I just remember I met with the department, the main department of DOT. for the road project on 202 and Route 5.
Yep.
The first conversation I had was incorrect that I told the town administrator. There is going to be a designated right-hand turn. However, they're getting rid of the yield part of it, so you will have a right-hand turn, but the traffic lights are gonna stay the same. If the light is red, no traffic is coming, then you can go on.
202 and 5.
Yep, what did I say?
By hand for-
That's why they've taken out the big,
Took the concrete out, they're gonna move that turn lane over, and they're gonna take off the rest of the remaining of the hot top, and it's gonna be an 8-foot gravel shoulder, just for like the tractor trailers if they have issues. But there is going to be a designated right-hand turn, stop at a red light, if red, you can take it right on red. But the yield sign.
the yield sign's gonna be gone.
Yep, the traffic count of crashes were too high, so that's why they're doing that. And then even bearer of bad news, worse than that, starting the 28th of this month, they're gonna start paving, so traffic will be horrendous again.
Starting from the Alfred end?
Yes,
Okay.
always subject to change, but that's as it is.
So the 28th, so they're gonna be playing around for a couple of weeks.
Yep, they get a 4th of July
So
week.
4th of July, so they're not gonna pave on the 4th or the.
I'm just letting you know with the paving, with the milling, it was horrendous because they did long stretches. Paving's gonna be horrendous because they're doing long stretching. When they did the crack sealing, it wasn't too bad because they had little short blocks that they would do.
Right.
It's coming back.
We can only close a half a mile at a time.
Yep. But it's an awful slow, there's a lot of traffic, so that's a long
Right.
half a mile.
It's what,
If they have a lot
8
of-
miles?
But that's a mile and a half.
If they have a lot of trucks, half a mile don't last long.
No,
We can run through that pretty
they're running,
fast.
they're gonna be running to
Thanks,
move it.
Pete, for that update.
Yep.
Do we have a section on the town website to update construction? Because there's a
We
lot
could-
of stuff out there in social
We
media.
could probably,
Is there
could probably put what information that you can glean out of Pete up on the website, right?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I mean, every morning somebody says,
Where are they?
Yep. They want to know what road they can come out of and do the horseshoe. to
There
get
are
around
other
it,
ways
so.
of getting around 202 and 5.
that's right.
Yeah.
And if you live here long enough, you'll find those.
It's not for us to share.
Right.
It's not no secret.
But there are many other ways
Keep
of
them on
going
202
around
and
the
35.
construction.
All right. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're gonna do 11A first.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, you approved the minutes.
Oh, man. Must have been on the back page.
No?
Oh, okay. 11A, discuss vote to approve the minutes of the June 1st, 2021 regular
So
meeting.
moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?
Motion to adjourn.
401, since you're
401.
gonna abstain. 401.
Wasn't here. Okay.
And I'm sorry, who seconded that? Was that?
Dana.
Oh, Dana, okay.
And Dwayne moved to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
You had to,
Dana
or we don't want to
second.
stay here.
Yeah.
All those in favor? Opposed? Good night.